We are.
Good morning, everyone!
Good morning, everybody! Happy day, happy Sunday. Welcome to our show, Blissin Out. It's been a while. We miss you. My name's Jackie.
And I'm Dave.
And we're so happy to have you on our amazing show.
Blissin Out!
Today, thank you so much for joining us. Today we are going to be talking about an amazing theme, as well as sharing nature with you as leaves are falling on my head. It's a beautiful day in Hermosa. We're coming to you on behalf of our amazing project, Karma Tribe. Tell us about it.
Well, Jackie, our project Karma Tribe is basically a global network of people around the world who are willing to help each other for free in many ways.
Yeah.
And the project orbits around our website, karmatribe.com, where you can offer and request free services.
Anything at all.
Anything at all, according to, what you want to share with the world or what you need. The idea is to connect people based on the resources so that we can all depend less on money and live in a more collaborative world.
Yes, and feel closer to our heart and our passions and be able to share. What a beautiful thing to share your passions with people for free. It's really... It feels good to do that.
Yeah, and so on our websites there are offers and there are requests. But one thing I've noticed, Jackie, is that it's hard to really differentiate sometimes between the giver and the receiver.
I agree.
Because the more you give, the more you receive, and even the pleasure of sharing sometimes is even greater than what the other person got.
Yeah, it's a gift in and of itself to be able to share with someone, not to mention make new friends, and just increase the universal vibration of happiness and joy. And so it's so nice to be here. We are really excited about our topic for today, which is the good, the bad, and the spontaneous.
Oh, yes.
And we've just been spontaneously inspired to come up with that topic today. And it feels good. It's spontaneity is, to me, keeping a zest for life. You know, doing what you feel in the moment, being open to different, options in any given day, in any given option, and, whatever, attracts your attention in that moment, you do it. Or accepting random things that might happen to you.
Exactly, Jackie. I couldn't agree more. Look at this. We have viewers tuning in already. Good morning, Jack Niel. Good morning, Kai Was.
Woo! Thanks
so
for
great
coming in.
To have you on.
Happy Sunday.
This is amazing.
Yes.
So, Jackie, indeed, I think that there is great power in spontaneity. And, what better to illustrate it than an example?
Yes.
For example, this show. This show, believe it or not, is spontaneous. I mean, we talked briefly about, what should be the subject of the day, but the entire show is completely improvised and spontaneous.
It's improv.
Which I think that's kind of one of the secrets to our good vibe secret sauce.
Yes, spontaneity. What do we feel in the moment? We just play off of each other's energy, and it works out, and there are two beautiful butterflies flying past us right now. Oh my God.
And look at this. We got Diego tuning in from Brazil, watching us in his own spontaneous vibe. So,
yes. So, Dave, yes. Can you tell us, give an example, Dave. How has spontaneity come into your life?
Well, it has come into my life in many ways. For example, last week, I ended up taking a spontaneous trip to California. I met someone months ago who told me, you should come to this event in California on such and such a date. So I ended up spontaneously booking a cheap flight to California from Costa Rica to go to this event. Fate would have it that I was unable to actually go to the event. But what I did spontaneously end up finding is a very close friend named Johnny, who happened to be traveling through LA at that time. A good friend that I haven't seen in years. He picked me up. We we were able to camp in the desert. We were able to rock climb, spend a lot of time together. And he's an accountant, and at the end of my time with him, he gave me a really illuminating suggestion about my taxes, and basically he explained to me that I've been overpaying on my taxes, and I can now save $200 to $300 a month using this tip that he gave me.
What?
So, born from this spontaneous trip, I'm now end up getting a huge raise, and now I'm making $200 or $300 more per month, coincidentally.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's like awesome too, because you expected to go to this event, you expected it to go a certain way. It didn't go the exact way that you wanted to. It kind of really never does. The way that you expect it. Like, we create these expectations, and then often the universe has different plans for us. Same to you, but then it just you know, like, there's just a bomb of abundance that comes out of these things, and lessons and things that you can learn. And oh my God, that is such a great new, like, thing that you can incorporate into your life, and more financial abundance. So congratulations to you.
And not to mention spending time with a friend in the desert. That's so special in itself.
Oh, man.
And, spontaneity unlocks many things. I want to say good morning to Elena. Good morning to Eddie.
Good morning, everybody.
USA, France. We also have Pablo tuning in.
Woo!
Great to have you.
Thank you, our international guests. Fantastic.
If you have any spontaneous things, look at this. Jack Nell's already drinking beer.
Help us.
That's spontaneous. That's
That's
awesome.
spontaneous. Salud, Jack Niel. I'll salute you with our mate here. Salud, salud.
And I just want to add in there, I'm reading a book called The Way of Zen. I'm learning a bit about Zen Buddhism. Zen has its origins with Taoism, which is not really a religion. It's just teachings for the way of liberation from all the illusions of the mind. So very much related to what we're talking about here.
Beautiful.
And
what's the key, Dave?
Well,
to Taoism?
What I learned is that the way of the Tao is spontaneity. This was written around 3,000 years ago by some sage, wise people in India, and they're saying exactly the same thing as we're saying now.
Wow. Spontaneity
has a marvelous power, and, like, for example, the way that we go through life, like walking and thinking, these are not things that we can do intentionally. Like, think about what goes into walking. How many different muscles, how many different things all happening at once. But as soon as you get self-conscious about the way that you're walking, suddenly you feel awkward and you can't quite remember how to just walk normally.
Yeah, you're kind of, in a way, I want to say, like, on autopilot. Your body knows how to do it. It gets into the routine, and as soon as you bring awareness to it, it kind of
becomes awkward,
and it feels
so that's just one of the many different ways in which, like, if you try to understand something, grasp it, put it into a box, you limit it, and you limit its power.
I agree with that. As soon as we try to define something or label it, it really limits it, and it really limits the possibilities. It could be to a person, it could be to a situation. Oh, look at this party, it just seems like, a heavy metal party, and then all of a sudden it's like in kaha, like in a box, and then it's kind of labeled, and then it's kind of shoved aside and not appreciated for perhaps its spontaneous value or the value of what it really is. Because can we really label anything?
Exactly, and it's kind of like it's actually like kind of like the paradigm of Western thinking is to think that we're in a world of things and events that can be labeled with a word concretely.
Yes.
But when you think about it, like, what is really an event? Does it really have a start and a finish that's very specific? No. Like, events can be interpreted in so many different ways, from so many different perspectives. An event is not really a thing. It's a process. And even actually, like, something like a stool, which seems like an inanimate object, well, where does the stool begin and where does the stool end? If you look, like, on a quantum level, there's no actual stool that's there in a specific place. It's all just waves, particles, slipping in and out of reality, existing everywhere at once.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like...
It's mind-blowing,
There's actually like a little Zen proverb that says, what happens to the fist when you open your hand? where does the fist go when you open your hand?
It's still there, but it's not.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Well, the idea, like, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of to give you an example of, like, things are not really anything in themselves. Everything is relative to each other. You know, you couldn't have light without darkness. You can't have happiness without sadness. Everything that we try to label has its opposite, and everything flows together, and everything is related.
Agreed. And I often find that it's a matter of the way you choose to interpret something, right? So there's the level that we limit it by labeling it, but also we have the freedom to label it or not label it. And if we are labeling it like a situation that could seemingly be bad, right? Like, there are just situations that just kind of suck. And if we choose to label it as such, then it will be such, you know?
Yeah.
And if we choose to label it as good and there's a lesson to be learned in there, then it is. Or maybe we just choose not to label it and we just coast and we just be,
We just
right?
chill.
We just chill and we just be in the moment, in the present, and I guess just absorb whatever that situation might be for what it is.
Absolutely, Jackie, and I'm going to ask you a question here.
Yes.
After I say good morning to Jacqueline, thanks so much for joining us. Good morning to Andy. Good morning to
good
Debbie.
Morning. Hi, guys.
Okay, Alan Watts. Yeah, Diego Muniz. The book that I'm reading, The Way of Zen, is actually by Alan Watts. So I'm really getting into the Watts.
Yes. I want to encourage you guys to do something spontaneous today. Just whatever you feel in the moment, just do something that just your body, your mind, your heart just desires. That's like a piece of homework, if I can do that, to our guests. And just decide to do something spontaneous today and don't label it. Just be in there.
So speaking of not labeling things, and speaking of, well, the theme for today, the good, the bad, the spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie, you had something that happened to you recently which most people would consider pretty bad.
Sure, yeah.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so to share with you guys, I recently got broken into at my house, and so this is kind of like an event that is like really kind of shakes you up quite a bit. So yeah, in and of that weird terribleness, you know, it all happened in this, of course, spontaneous type of way. A situation that is bad, right? And it can be interpreted as bad. But as I was reflecting on this, going through the whole process of, you know, just mental and emotional peace, as I'm going through this, I'm realizing that there are so many lessons in there, and things that have come out of the situation that are actually truly amazing. So it's like, it sounds cheesy, but there's always a positive side to things. I mean, I don't think there's anything positive about being robbed, but it opened kind of like these interesting energetic portals and friendship bombs of abundance. So I've had so many opportunities to, I don't know, just experience generosity through that. Like, my friends are just there. I've had like 7 people like offer to help me out, like, stay here, let me feed you, let me do this, whatever. And before you know it, I'm like staying in one of my amazing friends' house with air conditioning, which is something that I'm not used to having. So I was just like really enjoying that pampering. This amazing woman, Beth, shout out to you, by the way, Beth. She's making me whole wheat French toast this morning with honey, and we're spending like this quality time that I never would have had. Maybe she would have never had that company in this beautiful weekend. And so I'm seeing that by opening your mind to the spontaneity of things, although it might be something seemingly bad, then just opening your energetic field to, okay, what next? Next thing you know, I'm eating delicious French toast with an amazing conversation, an amazing friend, and quality time that I never would have had before. And that's just a small example of the amazing things.
And who knows what kind of seeds will be planted from those new bursts of friendship, those moments with Beth. Like, you can't possibly even imagine where, you know, planted in the fertile lands of your friendship, what kind of bushes and trees will be born. So, it's, you got, like, the idea that we can, like, label things in life is an illusion.
Agreed.
Well, we're trying to, like, simplify something for our little understanding, but it's all just part of the flow of life. And actually, change and good things and bad things are always part of life, so.
Yeah, unavoidable. And, yeah, it's also the thing that I've been thinking about with this whole situation is like, with an event or with something that happens, whether it's good, bad, whatever, you know, you take it, you react to it, you have your emotions, you have your labeling, or you hopefully try not to, and you kind of like process it emotionally, and then there's like this like liberation after that. Like after, it's like something like after you cry, it's like, oh, you're so down, and then after, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but to me, it's just like kind of opens up this energetic field of I don't know, you just feel really open. Maybe it's vulnerability, but it's also like, what's next? And it's kind of freeing, actually. So
it sounds like the freedom that comes with surrendering to your feelings, facing them, and
yeah,
wow,
amazing.
It's gotten very deep, very quickly.
Dave, going back to the idea of spontaneity. There are so many examples. There's something, you told me something else about your trip, about your time in the raw nature of the desert, that could possibly be interpreted as good, bad, spontaneous, whatever we want to call it. Can you share more about your time in the desert?
I would happily do that.
Yeah.
I just want to say good morning to Jose. Good morning to Guillermo Altman, tuning in from Uruguay, I believe.
Woo!
This is cool. Years ago, I was drinking mates with that guy.
Yes.
So something also bad happened to me in the desert. So there I was, in the middle of nowhere with my friend, doing a bit of bouldering, which is rock climbing with no ropes. You know, not too high, but
that's insane, man.
But I'm not a rock climber. I'm not very good. But my friend was able to make it up this kind of, say, like 10 or 12 foot tall boulder pretty easily. So I was admittedly a little bit distracted because I kind of needed to go to the bathroom, and I wasn't sure where or when I was going to do that. So with my mind slightly distracted, I started attempting to climb this boulder. In retrospect, it was a bit of a lunatic move because the ground where we started from, it had like a boulder sticking up like diagonally. It was a total like ankle breaker kind of scenario. But for some reason, it didn't occur to me that I might fall. So I started climbing up the rock face and got kind of like 6, 7 feet up, 8 feet up. It doesn't seem like I'm going to make it. Panic mode. Tried to slide down, ended up falling.
Oh my God.
Ended up smashing both of my knees on the rocks.
Yes.
And I was bleeding, and it was so painful. And it was one of those falls where you just get up and like start running in a circle, like howling in pain because of all the adrenaline.
Jesus.
And I was swearing, of course, and just thinking like, such an idiot I am. What am I doing? Like climbing up this giant rock in the middle of nowhere, like smashing my knees, like just in a fury.
Dave.
But in retrospect, was that really bad? I think it was really lucky because I just got my knees bruised. I learned a lesson, and I was able to continue along the journey with my friend, and nothing really bad happened. Had I fallen slightly differently, had I been slightly higher, I could have broken a kneecap or something,
Yeah.
and then my trip would have turned into a nightmare.
Yes, that could have been much worse.
So actually, it was really lucky. So I'm trying to like take the little nugget of teaching that's in there.
Yeah.
And but it's just an example of like, don't be so quick to label things as good or bad, because sometimes you're a lot luckier than you think.
I love that, and it's so true. And also, one thing that I was thinking about when you were telling the story is like, you could label it as horrible and let it ruin your day and ruin your time, because as soon as you label something as terrible, then isn't it true that energy kind of just reproduces and grows, and it becomes the whole vibration, and maybe it starts, affecting your friends, affecting everyone around you, and it's snowball effect. So the snowball effect of energy. So we have to be conscious of that, guys, because as soon as you create like a ball of negativity, then it attracts negativity. So if we're just like freaking out about the day, or like the traffic is horrible and we're angry, who knows what, then aren't we more susceptible to anger, to stress, and all those things, versus maybe just letting it go. Maybe just letting it slide, letting it go as boats do on the horizon in a sunset.
Oh, how
right?
poetic.
And just, let it go and then try to create a new space for positivity or just being neutral. There's something to be said, and Zen also is working towards this as well. Kind of being in the neutral mind, just being there.
Yeah,
and
not judging.
And not judging. So that's...
Oh, look at all these
amazing.
people that we have
Wow.
tuning in here.
Thank you, guys.
Good morning, Melinda. Good morning, Alana, Marcela,
Hi.
Daniel, Ashok, Tain, Win, Kendrick, Anna. Oh, this girl, Alana, says, hi, teacher, Miss Jensen.
Oh, hi, students. Is it Alana?
Alana, Melise, Susan.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, guys.
And good
Thank
morning,
you for
Leilani.
watching.
Oh, this is great.
This is amazing.
Tell us where you guys
yeah,
are
where are you
watching
guys
from.
coming from? I know
It's
where
very
my students are
interesting.
coming from, but it's so nice that you guys are tuning in right now. It's so good to be coming to you. Sunday Fun Day has only just begun, Dave. And life is fresh and beautiful and amazing. Spontaneity also helps us live in a more fresh way, like in a more... like I said, zest for life. It also helps us feel more alive. If we're spontaneous, if we're living in the moment, if we're grabbing this opportunity, it's like, aren't you just that much more alive?
Oh, yeah, and time seems to stand still in some ways. And, like, the opposite of that, I think, is, like, routine. And if any of you have been caught in, like, just a really busy routine, your life just slips away from you. It's kind of like it's the opposite of living life to the max. It's like kind of like living life in just an already written cycle.
I like to think about it as like autopilot, why do you want to autopilot your life, like throw it on there, let it think for itself and just let it slide away when you can learn so much in each moment, when there's opportunities in each moment to change your direction, to change what you want to do, and it makes you feel more alive. I bet the blood is just flowing even more when you're like, what's going to happen next? What could it be? What opportunity am I going to seize?
I want to share with you, like, an amazing fruit of a spontaneous exercise that's happening right now.
Tell me.
This is cool. I'm not going to say the F word because we have some students watching, but this is cool. So a couple weeks ago, I was listening to a podcast by an interview with Matt Mullenweg, who's the creator of WordPress. A very successful company, and now powers 30% of the internet.
Wow.
And this guy was saying that as a suggestion to entrepreneurs and business people.
You knew I wanted that.
I
You totally knew.
He was saying, we don't enough take the time to just take a pause from all of our routine, all of our busyness, and just not think for a few minutes. And he said that that's very difficult for most people to learn, meditation and to calm the mind. But another thing you can do is just take a moment, put away your phone, take out a blank sheet of paper, and write down, just do a brain dump. Write down everything that's coming into your mind. Are you achieving what you wanted to achieve? What are you most grateful for? What is going well? What is not going well? Where do you see yourself in a few years? And just take a bird's eye view of your life and just get it all down on paper. So, in the podcast, he says, okay, guys, stop the podcast and do this exercise. So,
nice.
I recommend, guys, right after this show, put away your phone, take out a piece of paper, and do this exercise. And then let us know in the comments what fruits come out of it, because I paused the podcast, and I did the exercise.
And what were the results?
The result was astonishing. Well, first of all, after pausing the podcast, I immediately grabbed my phone and started looking on Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
And then I was like, Dave, you mother F-word. What are you doing? Okay, I caught myself.
You did the exact
I threw away
thing.
the phone.
Yeah.
And I got out a piece of paper and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. So I started writing down, for Karma Tribe, everything that was coming into my mind. Because obviously Karma Tribe is my my
brain
project
child.
of my life, yeah. And a few minutes later of writing all this stuff down, an idea came into my mind, which was the synthesis. In retrospect, it was the synthesis of many different ideas bouncing around in my subconscious about what are the strengths of Karma Tribe, what are the weaknesses, how can it grow, da-da-da. An idea came into my mind. And over the past few weeks, I've been executing it, and the whole thing is launching in 2 days. And here's what the idea is, okay?
Yes. This is so exciting.
It is called the Giant Heart Video Contest.
Corazonazo.
El Corazonazo, Concurso Audiovisual. It is a video contest that we are going to have running over a period of 40 days. From June 1st to July 10th, people around the world can submit a video into the contest. The idea is to make the most inspiring video. It has to be maximum 2 minutes in length. And the objective is to inspire the viewer to make a change in their lives for a better world. And so the winner of the contest is going to have their video promoted to 1 million views on the Karma Tribe channel.
Yes.
And the winning video is going to be decided by 5 judges who are Costa Rican celebrities, including Emily Gusoni from the Costa Rican National Surf Team.
Shout out to Emily, my old student.
Stephen Brooks, the founder of Envision, founder of Punta Mona, regenerative center for permaculture, I believe.
Yes.
Diego Delfino, famous journalist. Marianne Hutt, cancer researcher who's groundbreaking and almost finding the key to pancreatic cancer.
Definite people. Is there another one?
Mariola Fumero, which is administrative director from the Lifting Hands Foundation, giving free education to the poor in San Jose. These are our judges. We also have 5 corporate sponsors, amazing companies that are trying to make positive impact. We've all gotten together, and with their support, we're going to promote the winning video to 1 million views.
Yes.
And we're going to be releasing a video in 2 days that explains the contest, and we're going to be promoting it around the world, reaching out to media. And so at the end of the day, 1 million people are going to be inspired.
Yes.
And
more.
This whole idea
I know it's going to be more, too.
was born out of a spontaneous moment of just like,
Declouding. Like, you declouded all of the garbage, and then it was like this beautiful... It was just this beautiful, like, tree of an idea came from that. It's amazing. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Imagine,
I'm really
guys.
excited about it.
Wow, I'm stoked.
So on July 16th, on Blissin Out, we will be announcing the winners and the winner, but we will also show the top 5 videos as selected by our judges, and we will show the winner on July 16th on Blissin Out here.
So find some inspiration, guys. If you want to submit a video, 2 minutes, inspiring people to make a positive change, that's the topic, right? So you can have your own freedom within that topic and the theme. Interpret it however you wish, and find a creative way to represent that.
Yeah, it can be in English or Spanish. And, just keep an eye on Karma Tribe, and you'll be informed of how the contest is going to work. I'll send out a newsletter to all Karma Tribe members in 2 days. If you haven't already, you should join Karma Tribe at karmatribe.com.
Yes.
If you're just tuning in now, it's a network of people around the world who help each other for free.
Yes, you can offer and request anything at all. Goods, services, classes, advice, you name it. Request or offer whatever you're called to do. And everything's free. It's a marketplace of free goods and services and great vibes.
Absolutely. And look at this. Good morning, Ederson. Good morning, Palma. She says, good vibes, guys. Nice shot with these topics. This is awesome, okay?
Thank you.
Good morning, Uriel. Good morning, Cynthia. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Ramesh. So great to have you guys.
Thank you for joining us, guys. Happy Sunday. Woo! Listen out. Dave, I think might be our favorite
Is it that time?
It might be the time where we expose some of the active favors going on right now on Karma Tribe, just to give you a small taste of the abundance that's available to y'all right now. Dave, you can do the honors first.
Okay.
Most of these favors are available online or in person, so get ready. Feel it. Love it. Be it.
Okay, here, guys. We have an interesting offer from a guy named Barry Moss in the Punta Arenas area of Costa Rica. He's offering to help you open a vegetarian or vegan restaurant in Costa Rica.
Ah, that's bomb.
That's a dream.
We need one. We need some of that in Jaco.
He says, I can help you in opening up a vegetarian or vegan restaurant here in Costa Rica. I've just sold a very popular restaurant, and I can help you open yours.
Oh my gosh.
and
That's
it's
fantastic.
available online or in person, so...
Maybe someone out there is looking for a life change. They want to move down here. They
open a vegan restaurant,
open a restaurant.
And maybe like their spontaneous decision to watch the show for a few minutes will then lead to an entirely amazing different future. And if you open a vegan restaurant, think about all the lives that you touch with that.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of animals that you save.
Definitely. Save the animals, help people out. Health, man. So important what you put in your body.
I must say that I've been really kind of like thinking a lot about vegetarianism and veganism and thinking that maybe it's on the horizon for me. Not something I thought I would ever say.
Interesting, Dave. I bet it's worth it to try it. I was vegetarian for not quite a year, and it was an amazing, amazing experience. And also, I pretty much don't really eat that much meat, but it's amazing. So yeah, just a small recommendation. If you ever feel the need to try that, I would suggest just trying it for a time and doing a trial. You learn so much about your body. You learn so much about the foods that affect you, and you'd be surprised how much more energy you'd have by cleaning up the diet. So, yes. Next
Great
favor.
spokesperson.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Next up, we have a request from Ana Jimena Salman Urizar from San Luis, Mexico, who is requesting a guide in Ayurvedic medicine. Okay, this is interesting. Have you heard of Ayurvedic medicine?
A little bit. What is it?
It's an amazing philosophy of, it's basically a philosophy of life, lifestyle, like guide, of how to live and eat and surround yourself with things that fit kind of like your body type. It really has to do with everything. It's so hard to get into right now, but it has to do with like your energy and what affects, like what types of food affects you, what time of day that you're most productive, and it kind of gives advice on how to live according to your like doshas and your bodily makeup and things like that. Anyways, look into it. It's extremely interesting. So Ana Jimena says, I would like to learn about Ayurvedic medicine, learn how to use it and make it part of my lifestyle. Amazing. I hope someone helps you. I wish I was expert enough to help you, but I actually have a couple textbooks on that I want to continue my education in, and I would highly recommend that. So I hope someone helps her out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know we have Karma Tribe members in the East, in India, Malaysia,
Yeah.
Indonesia. So maybe we have some Ayurveda gurus
Ooh, I bet.
in the
I
tribe.
bet. What's next?
Okay.
What do we got?
We have an offer from Cynthia in San Leandro, California. She's offering bilingual assistance. She says, I offer bilingual and English assistance either locally or online. I am both a native Spanish and English speaker. I'm formally educated in American English with a background in science. I can help you learn or improve your English, and in the meantime, I can continue to improve my Spanish.
Love
That's
it.
really cool.
That's a cool exchange. Man, yeah, it's such a gift to be bilingual. Also, another shout out to my students, too, they've totally inspired me with their bilingualness.
Bilingualism teacher?
Bilingualism. But yeah, I mean...
She's a high school English teacher. Can you believe it?
I can believe it.
Just kidding.
Nah. But yeah, I mean, it increases creativity, and having two languages as a form of expressing yourself, it enriches your life so much. So I hope that favor can get met. Last but not least, we have a request from Dasket for French lessons, San Jose, Costa Rica. I would like to learn to speak French. What a beautiful language French is. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm fascinated by French as well.
I'm going to reach out to this guy. I offer French classes on Karma Tribe, so I think I will reach out to him this afternoon.
Très bien. Yes. Do it.
I will.
That's amazing. Wow. Beautiful.
What a show.
What a show, guys. What great energy. What great vibes. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you for being spontaneous in the future, now, past, present, future. I hope you guys are inspired today to do something spontaneous and just enjoy all the benefits of living in the moment, living in peace and gratitude, and pura vida.
Pura vida.
Pura vida.
We all have amazing things within ourselves, amazing gifts for the world, and we all have the capacity to make a positive impact on lots of people.
Yes.
And I think that living in the moment and being spontaneous is the way to channel that potential and unleash it upon the world.
Embrace the zest of life, guys. Have an amazing day.
Yeah.
Have an amazing, amazing day. Pura
Have a
vida.
great day. Thanks so much for watching.
Muchas
we love
gracias.
you guys.
Mucho amor.
Take care. Thanks Glauco. Thanks Kairun. Thanks Jacqueline. Thanks
Thank you,
Uriel.
everybody.
Thanks Alana. Thanks Ederson.
Such a
We love
pleasure,
you guys.
guys. Ciao,
Take care,
ciao.
my friend.